evening, I'm Alex Biddle and these are our top stories. World Press Freedom Day, the Student Union elections and how to make your own week. Freedom of the press is an important social right. Recognising this is World Press Freedom Day, and as journalists we decided to investigate the history of the press and how its freedoms have changed. Meg Pettit has the story.
Every year, the 3rd of May is World Press Freedom Day, an initiative set up to recognise and protect the freedom of journalists to practice and report the truth around the world free from government interference. The day, which reminds governments of their duty to respect and uphold freedom of expression, was set up by the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organisation. Article 10 of the Human Rights Act outlines the rights of freedom of expression, but it has not always been the case that the press has been encouraged to be free. Even modern-day events like the Leveson inquiry could have dramatic effects on the freedom to report by journalists. We asked Richard Adamson for his opinions about press freedom and its future.
Mediates between the governed and the governed, and without the press, the media, the people who are governed are disadvantaged in knowing what the leaders or the governors of the country are doing. So untrammeled press freedom is absolutely essential.
World Press Freedom Day is a reminder to every journalist about the importance of reporting the truth and upholding freedom of expression around the world. Meg Pettit, Buckingham News.
The Student Union elections are just around the corner. Sam Leonard went to the old Tanlaw Mill to find out who is running for office.
Rumours are in the air about who will be the next SU president, so we called up with Danielle Elias to see what's going on.
Why are you a good candidate for the SU president?
Well, I believe that I have the right experience. I've been working with the SU for over a year now, and I really do believe that I know how to get things done and how to bring the changes about.
What changes will you make if you are elected?
My manifesto is going to be published in the next couple of days, and it consists of changes that we know through interacting with them over the last few weeks.
Why do you think it's important that we hold these elections?
Because the student union is supposed to be a voice for the students, so it's important that the students get to choose who they want representing them.
What would you like to say to your fellow students out there?
I really do believe that I'm a good candidate, and I'd really appreciate your votes.
So who do you want to run your student union this term? If you think you're the right person for the job, get your nominations in by May 8th. This is Sam Leonard, Buckingham News.
Ever fancied creating your own week, such as Chocolate Week or Sleep Week? Well, here's Jess Rusher with how to do it.
Did you know that Laugh at Work Week, Undergraduate Research Week and National Princess Week are all celebrated in April? Obscure they may be, but recognised nonetheless. So, who creates these weeks and where do they come from?
The most traditional way of creating your own week is to hire a PR agent who will turn your idea into a press release, sending it to magazines and other media outlets. Or, for a much easier and student-friendly way, you can register your idea online using Chase's calendar of events website. We asked the students of Buckingham what week they would create if they had the chance.
Pancake Week. That couples get together and have a sexual interaction in order to reproduce.
Mixed race week.
I would hold a music week. I would have a different genre of music each day as a dress-up opportunity, and it can broaden your horizon.
I would like a cheerleading week.
Appleton Treasure Island Party, which is 9 miles of beaches in Jamaica, and you leave one party to go on to the next one all week.
So, now you have all the information you need to create your own week. So what are you waiting for? This is Jess Rusher for Buckingham News.
The Royal Latin School opened its doors to alumni and locals this week as it revealed its fascinating history through a collection of archives and records. Charlie Williams was there to find out more.
The Royal Latin School is one of the most distinguished grammar schools in the country, and this week hosted an archive day to display their wealth of artifacts, journals and records. More than 100 old Latins were in attendance at the event, which allowed former pupils to reminisce about their own school days whilst providing unique insight into the history of the school and the local area.
So the Royal Latin School, or the Latin School, was established in fact in 1423, and only recently have we really begun to appreciate its history. When I retired a year or so ago, I was already running an archive here with student help, and The archive has grown donations from Old Latins. Last year we had the inaugural open day for the archive. Today is our second one. We've re-established it with all sorts of Old Latins all over the world, and we've collected some wonderful documents. The most impressive, I think, or one of the most impressive, being a gift recently from the school where the son of a head teacher at the beginning of the 20th century, Fuller, he was head here from 1909 to 31, and we have his diary, which is a wonderful document. And so with registers and pictures, uniform, contacts with Old Latins, we've really begun to establish a Royal Latin School archive.
As the day came to an end, there was little doubt in attendees' minds that in the coming years the already impressive archives will only grow from strength to strength. Charlie Williams, Buckingham News.
May the 4th be with you. Tomorrow is the annual Star Wars Day. Chindale Ponzabath asked students on campus who in the faculty they thought most resembles Yoda.
A long, long time ago, in a galaxy close by, small-time director George Lucas released his epic space opera called Star Wars.
Since 2007, May 4th has been considered the official Star Wars Day. Fans everywhere dress up and get together to reminisce on the original trilogy which came out in 1977. The franchise has brought in more than $4 billion worldwide. We asked students who they thought the Yoda of their faculty was.
Professor Langhorn, not because of his size, because he's quite tall, but more because he's relatively old and very wise.
Professor Watts, because well, he's quite experienced in his field, so his wisdom would probably fit to Yoda.
Frances Robinson, because she's amazing.
Definitely Roger Perkins.
I'd say probably John Clark, history lecturer. I think he's very sort of worldly and very you know, he seems to know everything, seems to have read pretty much every book under the sun.
I don't really know anyone who reminds me of Yoda.
Actually, I don't remember anybody resembling Yoda, sorry.
Jason Nurum, because of his infinite wisdom.
I think Yoda would be Roger Perkins because he looks like him a little bit and he guides us through dark times and the Force is strong with him.
Grab your friends, grab some popcorn and pop in the movies. As Yoda would have said, may the 4th be with you. This is Chandos Road, Buckingham News.
Planning for a controversial new development on Chandos Road has been polarising the town. Leandra Behrens has the story.
A second planning application has been made for Buckingham's former cinema site on Chandos Road to be converted into a Sainsbury's convenience store. The property developer, Buckingham Main, has made an appeal for non-determination in regards to its former proposal, as the council has so far been unable to offer proper consideration. We asked the local community for their opinion on the matter.
Yeah, people might drop in for a drink on the way there or the way back, so it'd be beneficial for us.
If we're having the big Sainsbury's, I don't think we need a small Sainsbury's as well.
Yes and no, we do need some more shops because obviously Tesco's take the monopoly.
More competition, let's have it.
In its official statement, the council expressed concern regarding access and the effect on traffic. We also spoke with Peter Wayne, the head teacher of a nearby Grenville school. So why did Grenville School support this proposal?
We feel that the building, the current building, is a bit of an eyesore and it doesn't reflect very well on the area.
The council believes that the store's location will complicate traffic. Do you agree?
It could complicate it, especially in the morning, you know, when children are coming to school and in the afternoon. But we do have arrangements with the other school near here, Royal Latin School, to end school at different times, so we alleviate some of the traffic problems.
Driven by the support of residents and the Grenville School, the proposal should be reviewed positively this month. However, the final decision lies with the council. This is Leandra Behrens, Buckingham News.
The Chancellor's Cup is now in its second week. Tuesday evening saw the squash tournament at the Swan Pool. The Sim Planmay was there.
Well, it's almost 6 p.m. and guess where I am? Yes, I'm right outside Swan Pool and Leisure Centre, about to find out one of the key aspects of Chancellor's Cup, and that is squash. Let's go in and find out.
Squash competition started with 4 players playing in 2 squash courts side by side. Though it was scheduled to finish a day later, the inevitable absence of some players made it finish early. The matches went ahead smoothly and promptly thanks to Callum Roberts, the sports coordinator. we interviewed the winner of the competition, Chancellor.
Torben, I was just told that I won the squash competition here at the Chancellor's Club. It was a tough competition, really good, enjoyable matches. I'm hoping we have a few more people coming down here on Tuesday nights between 6 and 7:30 to enjoy the squash, so I'm looking really forward to meet a few more people. So please come around whenever you have the time. Thanks.
So, whether you like playing squash or whether you like drinking squash, it's time to get out in the summer. This is me, Asim Planme, reporting for Buckingham News. Thank you.
The lack of participation from the students has surprised the organizers. The basketball event was cancelled due to the poor number of players. Nevertheless, other competitions have tried to keep alive the sportsmanship among the university, and these are the results. In volleyball, humanities got the first place. In tennis, law and humanities. In football and tag rugby, the business school. Table tennis for humanities. Squash for science. And badminton was won by law in men's and women's singles. The current standing has the law school in the first place.
The University of Buckingham Football Club had 2 matches away this weekend. Camilla Martinez reports.
The University of Buckingham was away to Brick Hill, currently first place in the North Bog Division 1. Buckingham, full of ambition, made the first blow of the game. Will McPhee scored. The quick home team reaction allowed them to score 2 goals in 10 minutes. But Buckingham was giving everything and could equalize the game at the end of the first half. Chris Wellman scored. In the second half, the university started with a powerful petrol and scored the third one by Shannon Burchell. Five minutes after, Will McPhee will extend the difference. The locals would score the third by a penalty kick. But Will McPhee was hungry of goals and scored the fifth one. Brick Hill would score a fourth goal, but it wasn't enough to equalize the game. Buckingham was away against Stugley Reserve for the Battle of the North Bog Division 1. A terrible mistake made by the local defender allowed Will McPhee to score the first blow of the game. Just before the end of the first half, Will McPhee will score a second one. Another terrible mistake gave Will McPhee the opportunity to score his hat-trick. But Will McPhee wanted more and scored his fourth. The locals' late reaction allowed them to score his first goal. Stugley scored its second one after a wonderful free kick. Buckingham remains 5th place in the North Bog Division 1 and 7 points are the gap for the promotion.
14 minutes now.
This week's Cooking With, Helena whips up a simple yet delicious banoffee pie.
Hello, today on Cooking With we're going to make banoffee pie. So for this recipe you're going to need 3 bananas, 60 grams of melted butter, some double cream for whipping, we're going to cheat with some ready-made caramel, a bit of icing sugar and some biscuits for the base. And also you might need a baking tin with a removable bottom so you can get. Break the biscuits into a bowl and crush them with the end of a rolling pin. Pour in the melted butter and mix together. Compress the crushed biscuits into the cake tin and put it in a preheated oven at 180 degrees for 10 minutes. While the base is cooling, we're going to chop up the bananas. Okay, now that the base has been cooling for a little while, we're going to add the caramel to it. Spread the caramel evenly around the base and then top with the chopped bananas. Finish off with some whipped cream and dig in.
And that's the news. This is Alex Biddle, and thank you for watching. Have a great weekend.